This is a variation on doing things very badly for a very good reason.
I am reading Kids Beyond Limits again. And I am right now reading about variation. And because variation is so good, I decided I'm going to do variation while I read variation. And so I am reading Kids Beyond Limits and I am reading Move into Life, which is great because Anat Baniel gives different examples on each book. Kids Beyond Limits is for the purpose of helping parents mostly tap into the neuroplastic power of their children's brain. So it is a book directed for parents of special needs kids. But Move into Life is the same stuff directed to anybody else. Just tapping into the neuroplastic power of the brain for the purpose of making our brains learning machines. And when our brains are learning, we are vital. So this is all about vitality. It's all about healing pain. So in Move into Life, Anat is telling me her experience with a very, very good cellist who had severe back pain to the point that he thought he was going to have to quit playing the cello. He came to her, she worked with him on the massage table, just giving him variations, moving his hips, his shoulders, his neck. And she could tell that as she was doing this with him, he was shifting. Something was shifting in him, but he was not recognizing those changes. And so
she had him pick a song that was very easy for him to do, perhaps something he had learned, like a nursery rhyme or something like that. And she asked him to play it for him in the cello. So he played Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And he was kind of embarrassed as he was doing it. And then she goes and she says, cool, now I want you to play it very badly. And so he was a little confused, but he did it. And as he did it, she was working with his back again. She was touching different parts of his body that when she first felt them, they felt extremely rigid. Those were the pieces that he was in pain, right? And so he plays it very badly. And she says, okay, I now want you to find a different way to play this song very badly. So he does. And then she asks him to play the song badly in different ways, like 3 more times. And after 5 times, they both realize, okay, there's no more ways to how I can play this Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Song badly. And then she says to him, okay, now I want you to play the first piece you played to me, the good one, when the session began. Just play that to me. And he plays it, and as she touches his back and everything, she feels the difference. Like he's moving more fluidly, and the piece is gorgeous. And he turns to her and he says, my pain is gone. And so, super thrilled to be pain-free, he tells her, how can I keep this up? And she says, I'm gonna read it. You can't keep it. But whenever you begin to feel stuck, in pain, or unhappy with your playing, remember how you're feeling now and intentionally experiment with different ways of playing badly, with bold variation, until you feel free of pain. Give up on thinking that there is only one right way of playing. Do not be afraid of making mistakes, but think of mistakes as a shortcut to your next discovery. You notice how badly I read there, right? So this week I am really playing hardcore with variation, for instance. And so I have a quick little story for you. The stories on Kids Beyond Limits are amazing, amazing, amazing. And let me do one more bad thing with this video, and it is to tell you that if you have not seen my video in which I explain this stuff with Paola Leal, and we give examples, and we tell you the reason why you should read the book, you are an idiot. You should be watching the video, or you should be buying this book, Kids Beyond Limits. Or at least Move into Life if you don't have kids that have limits, then buy Move Into Life, because this is all about not aging, my friends, not aging. And the reason why we age, she explains it very clearly, is because we learn the one right way of doing things, and then we just do it and do it and do it and do it, and our brain gets old. And we start noticing that every single day is the same thing over and over, and we get depressed. So the way to end this suffering is variation. Why was I telling you this? Right, I'm telling you this because I have my own Kids Beyond Limits little story that I played with today with variation. And I will not tell you what kid it pertains to because privacy. But I happen to live with somebody who sometimes smacks his food and does other things that are not very nice at the table. But this has not changed. It has not changed after many years of, hey, don't do that, and hey, all kinds of different ways. So I noticed today that what hasn't changed either is the way how we, me and somebody else, point out to this and try to correct this and try to shift this in the smacking person. And so I decided today, hey, how about if instead of doing it the way I've always done it, I use variation? And so what I did was, when I heard a smack, hey, how about if we introduce some variation to this today? How about if you smack a little louder? And so this person smacked a little louder, and I joined it, and I smacked as loud as I could. I made it so exaggerated. And when I asked this person to maybe engage with me in a contest of who could smack the loudest, this person didn't. And so I just kept smacking on and off while I was having my breakfast. And every time I did it, this person would go like this. And I was thrilled. But I was even more thrilled when I stopped doing it. And at some point, this person did a little smack. This person went for the freaking first time ever. So that to me tells me that brain perceived something new right there. And this is the very first time that this brain is conscious of its own smacking and is choosing spontaneously to change that. Now, I don't know what will happen, but that is a difference. And if you have read this book, you know that difference perceived, magic comes. So, since the whole point of making this video was to do something I usually do, but badly, with variation, I won't even try to tell you what to take away from this one. I think you can figure it out. But if I can give you one thing is today, try to do anything that you normally do and that you know well, you've done forever. Try to do that thing a little bit different and come up with 5 different ways of doing that thing, because that is the variation that changes the brain. That is the one that causes the greater number of synapses, that is connections between neurons, to occur. And from those connections, new shit happens. Right there, I said the word, yes. That stuff happens, that magic happens when you do related variation. Variation is not doing something you've never done. Variation is doing the thing that you have done in a different way. Doing the same in a different way. So I won't even give you examples. You are smart people and you can come up with your own variations. Yeah. Let's just finish it there. Actually, no. The last bad thing I want to do with this video is to have an extra thought. And it is this. This applies to movement of the body, movement of the mind, and movement of emotions. Physical movement, thoughts, emotions. You do variation on any of them, the whole system is nourished and changes. And just like you can do variation of the way how you wash the dishes or scramble your eggs or whatever, you can also do variation about the way how you think. in the very repetitive voice that always responds to triggers in the same way and tells us the same stories, you can do things. You can vary it. And the work of Byron Katie, to me, comes as a very good way of doing variation. I will not tell you what that is because I will leave that for another video because I cannot keep going on and on and on. Goodbye.